Pew, 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 pew. What's going on, guys? We weren't going to go live. We were not, but I had a discussion with iAdventures, and he bought the Mantis G today. He is the first official unboxing and reviewer of the Mantis G in the US currently as we speak. I have invited him into the chat. He's currently driving home due to a series of unfortunate events. He won't be making DW Fest tomorrow. Which sucks, but it is what it is. We all have stuff that happens in our life that we have to deal with. So I invited Brian in here. We'll see. I'll drop the link for Brian as soon as I see him comment, and he'll be able to jump on panel, and we can discuss what his first thoughts of the Mantis G are. He did his official unboxing last night. He picked it up, and I think he did fly it today, and he'll be able to give you his first impression of this thing since putting his hands on it. We're going to find out if this thing is actually going to be a contender for anything else in the market, and what his thoughts are. I believe he did have an opportunity to fly it today after his unboxing. His unboxing video is currently up. As far as I know, it's like the first unboxing video in the US. So congratulations to iAdventures for getting your hands on it so quickly. They did a post-release of this product at Best Buy, I want to say, and he was one of the first people to pick one up and put his hands on it. And I hope he can come in here and tell us what his thoughts are. He's driving right now, so it may take him a minute to get the tell him to just let it rip, Tater Chip. Well, we currently had Hurricane Nestor. Not hurricane, Tropical Storm Nestor, and I think he did fly it during Tropical Tropical Storm Nestor. That's a hard one to say. So, anyways, Ron, what's going on? We're giving him a second to pop up. Glennesis, boo-boo. Oh, yes. Well, we're going to find out here in a sec. So Brian should be popping in any second here. He's currently on the road, so it may take him a minute to get in the stream here. But like I said, he's the first person to unbox it and officially touch it, play with it in the US. That's not a post-production model, and I believe he did have his opportunity to do that. So we're just waiting for him to pop in. I may just let him know we're live because I'm surprised I don't see him in here yet. Let's see here. I don't see him commenting yet. Let me tell him I'm live. Mad Kiwi, I'm going to invite you in too, brother. Glennesis, if you'd like to pop in. Let's see, enter. All right, guys, so we're just waiting on iAdventures to get in here and give us his first opinions and thoughts of this thing. I don't think it's going to be a contender for any of the Mavics, but like I said, I'm going to leave that for him to tell you guys what his thoughts are. So, Kiwi, kind of playing the waiting game here. All right, where you at, Brian? The man's making me look silly. Ah, that's what he's doing. He's currently driving. Okay, I guess we're gonna kill a little time while we wait on Brian. There he is. He's in the chat now. Getting my headphones out. All right, so he'll be in here in a second. Sorry, guys. This was kind of not really planned well, but Ron, what did you think of the video I made for you, bro? You didn't even comment on it, man. I made that for you, bro. I did swamp trolling and everything. Make me feel sad. Make me sad. Way cool, the man says. Place it here. Sup, DW. We're waiting on Brian to jump in and give us his first thoughts. He was the first U.S. unboxer, and I think he flew it today. If I heard correctly, I think he flew it today. So I'm going to comment here with the StreamYard's link again for him and see how long it takes him to pop in. I know we've now killed 5 minutes kind of waiting on Brian to get in here. You need a toothpick, Quad. I'll tell you what, I'll do you one better, man. How about I just put a toothpick in my mouth and I fly all these brushless monsters just chilling in here. Does that work? All right. That should work. Toothpick. No, sir. And we up the game with the GoPro attachment and everything else on the 5-inch. I don't need no toothpick. You can have the toothpick, buddy. It looks cool, but meh. I'm good. All right, Brian, you're killing me here, man. When you gonna pop in, big dog? We're losing viewers fast here, buddy. Come on, man. I got faith in you that you're gonna be able to pop in. I hope he's not having an issue with StreamYards. Ron said I gave it a thumbs up. Brian. Everybody root Brian on in the comment section. Brian. Come on, iAdventures. You got this, bro. I miss Clearwater. Yeah. There, he says he's coming. I'm coming. I know, man. Hurry up, bro. Push on the link. I'm actually kind of excited to hear what his thoughts are. Do you guys think it'll be able to contend with any of the Mavic products that are out there? Or do you think it's going to be kind of in that mid-range sub-power, like Parrot and Nafi kind of thing? What do you guys think? Brian. Oh my gosh, we're almost 7 minutes into this. Okay. What's up, 10 people in here? Don't forget to smash the like button. I'm doing my best to bring the first reviewer of the Mantis G in the stream right now. If you guys have not checked out his channel, he goes by iAdventures. He is in the chat. Make sure you drop him a subscription. He should be popping in here. We got Ron. Ron just popped in. Mr. Lockwood, how's it hanging, buddy?
Hey, Dan, how are you?
Good. We're waiting on Brian here. He's having a hard time getting in, it looks like, unfortunately.
Well, loved your video, buddy.
Thank you.
Cool. And
Thank you.
Yep, the overlay was.
Yeah. It's a fun one. It's a fun one. Fly Natural, good to see you, buddy. I haven't seen you in a while. You think it'll be like the Anafi? Well, we're going to find out. You heard Brian picked up the Mantis G today. He was the first person to get his hands on it. He went to Best Buy and bam, walked out the door with it and did his unboxing, and I think he had an opportunity to fly it today. So we're having some complications. He's driving right now, and he's trying to get on the stream. So
poor guys, he's on the road as much, if not more.
He was coming out here to DW Fest and then got down here, handled some of the stuff he had, and then personal business got in the way, and now he's having to drive all the way back. So he drove 1,000 miles plus to get down here to hang out for DW Fest, and the night before DW Fest, he has to turn around and go right back.
Are you kidding me?
No, man, it sucks.
Oh.
It's horrible. So
man, that sucks. Oh, do you have a lot of people coming, do you think, tomorrow? Or
I don't know. I mean, a lot of people got deterred by the weather. You know, CJ Hyde, I think, was going to come out, and then he's like, I don't know, man. Here we go. Uh-oh.
There is the man, the legend.
Uh-oh. We're having some real issues getting him in here tonight. Oh, come on, man. I really want to hear what his thoughts are on this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I either want to go with the Mantis G or the Anafi if I'm getting another bird. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, he's having some hard times getting in here.
Yeah, I told you. I was on the road last night. I couldn't sleep. I was up at 2 o'clock this morning. You're up at 4:30.
All right, he's in, but it looks like his internet. Yeah, it looks like his internet's being silly. I think he's probably maybe at McDonald's or he's on Wi-Fi or something maybe. Brian, what's going on, buddy? Are you with us? Yeah, he just froze instantly again. Grr. I wanted this to go smoothly.
Yeah, Dan, I took the plunge on that Skydio.
Did you?
I ordered one.
I cannot afford it right now. It'll be a while before I can afford a new drone. I still have more surgeries coming. I have back rent to pay right now because of my surgeries not working for 3 months. This has just gotten totally out of hand. This should have all been resolved months ago. I should not even be in the position I'm in, honestly. This is craziness. All right, he's popping in again. Let me drop his old one out. I'll drop his new one in. Let's see. I think this is the new one. Yep. Dang, man, he is just having a very rough time getting in. Agent K, what's going on? Anafi, he sucks. Let's see. We got Drone Obsessed Jerry, Mike Gilbert. we're trying to get Brian in here. He got he bought the Mantis G, and he did his first unboxing of it today, and he's the first person to get his hands on it. So, oh, he's in finally! Yay! Oh, he froze again instantly. Jeez, oh Pete.
There he is.
Is he frozen to you?
No, he was moving.
Yeah, he was moving for a second, then he froze again.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, we may have to just have a regular stream here. I'm thinking he's having a really hard time getting in. I really wanted him to be able to tell you guys about this drone. Sucks he's on the road.
Yeah. That sucks he had to turn around.
Yeah. No, he made it all the way down here. He stayed here last night. He stayed in the Tampa area last night. He was here already. He was ready, geared up, brought all his gear with him, and then had to turn around. I'm not going to go into why, but he had to turn around and go right back.
Yeah, I just did a 14-hour round trip.
That's all. Sorry.
I know that I feel his pain a little bit.
Drone Obsessed Jerry, even if nobody shows up, me and Brian are going to tear it up, dude. We don't care. Nobody could come. I would not care in the slightest. You know, it's great to be able to hang with cool people, but as far as like, do I expect the event to explode and blow up? No, I don't.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Bad 24 is in the house.
Is it the? I heard you mention that. What is that? That tower? I think I've heard Ken go to that tower before.
Sulphur Springs Water Tower. I'm sure he's probably flown it before. Bill, the drone reviewer, has been out there. It's honestly my favorite place to fly because there's tree cover. There's great for GPS. There's water right next to it. There's obviously the historical water tower that you can fly. So, So guys, if you're sitting in here, even though the stream is having a really rough time getting Brian in here, please don't forget to smash the like button. And we're hoping that at some point he'll be able to join and be able to tell us about about the Mantis G. He's driving 1,000 miles home right now. So,
damn, maybe the next video I do in the aircraft, maybe I'll see if I can send that to you to see if you can put that overlay on it for me.
Are you talking about inside the actual helicopter?
Yeah.
I could do that, but you can't have anything else showing. It would need to be right in the glass, right in the front where you can't see any of the instruments, nothing, just out the front window, and that's it. I don't want to see the bar that runs down the center or the side slots, nothing.
Yeah.
If you can get that to just sit right in the front where there's nothing and hopefully you don't get any glare off the glass, I'd be more than happy. Dude, I got tons of overlays. I can put, what do you want to put on it? Gun turrets and crazy military aircrafts. Oh, yeah, I can have some fun, bro. You want to make it look like an old school airplane? Oh, I got old school cockpits with the, 50s bomber stuff in HD and, look like you're doing this. Yeah, I got fun stuff, man.
Ooh, the gun over. Yeah, I kind of like that scope overlay thing. I like that.
Yeah.
In my hunting videos. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah, I could probably do a scope on there too. Yeah, you could do that. I meant like a big gun turret, like you're driving and you see the big gun turret sticking out the front of you or whatever you're flying, brrr, helicopter, whatever, Black Hawk. All right, here he is. Brian is almost in here again. Let's see if this works. I'm going to add him, even though I see his picture. Oh, is he there? He's there. Okay.
Oh, we got a live breathing Brian.
He's with us. Okay, so you have better internet signal, obviously, now.
Yeah, I had to do a hard reset on my phone. It was like I had 1 bar of service and I'm in Daytona Beach, so it's like I'm not in the middle of nowhere. I have, like cell towers all around me, but
right.
It wouldn't connect. So I had to reset my phone.
Dude, you got 20 people in here that want to know about the Mantis G already. We've had a couple of people leave, but there's still a good crowd. Tell them what your first thoughts are. Is it a contender for Mavic? Is it a contender for anything else on the market? A Nafi? What are we looking at here?
It's definitely a contender for somebody that wants to spend $700 on a drone. It's not quite as stable as the Mavic Air or the Mavic, the Spark and stuff like that. But it is the camera quality is phenomenal. The only thing about the 4K is you actually get that GoPro curvature when you're in 4K where it's cropping. And then it's got a really, like whenever I got up to about 100 foot, it's got a really bad curve of the earth. But whenever you go back to 2.7K, it's got what's called ISP in it, and so it's a electronic or ESP, electronic image stabilization. It's
Oh yeah.
EIS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. EIS.
EIS, yeah. So what it did when I went to 2.7K was it actually it was basically like going into linear mode in the action cams. So it made everything nice and straight and square. You still got really good images from it. I couldn't really tell a difference by like looking on my phone. Obviously on your handheld device, you can't tell a difference in 4K and 2.7K. But stability, it's really stable. It's got sensors on the bottom that it's vision positioning sensors, and so they work well. I put my hand up underneath of it, and it started lifting up to avoid my hand, and I had to actually pull down on the stick to hand catch it.
Right.
It's in sport mode. It's 45 miles an hour. That thing flies like an FPV drone. It will fly.
It's a ripper.
And oh man, it is definitely a ripper, and it takes 100 foot to stop. And I was actually doing the same thing that you do in an FPV flight. So what I was doing was pulling back on the stick to stop the drone and giving it up throttle just to give it that extra thrust. And that thing was getting it. So it kind of made me nervous. It doesn't stop as fast as like the competitor products. It's well built. The propellers on it, the props, they screw down onto the motors. By two screws hold them on, but you get a little bag of screws that's got Loctite on them already. So that's one thing in the field that you have to do is if you break a prop, you got to replace it with a little mini Phillips screwdriver.
Which I'm assuming now you have multi-thread. One goes one way, the other one goes the other. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, for $6.99, I mean, it was like $7.50 out the door, tax, title, tags, and all that. So I would probably spend my money on.
How you going, Miss Liz? How you doing?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks a lot.
Hello, what's going on, Jerk Worship? What's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
What's up?
I'm good, man. I heard you guys talking about the new Mavics. That's awesome.
No, he's talking about the new Mantis G being a contender for the Mavic.
Oh, Mantis? Oh, I'm sorry.
He picked it up today, and he's been flying it, and he's the first impressions in the U.S. He's the first person to really put his hands on it, touch it, play with it. So we're hearing what he has to think about it. Yeah.
The Mantis is pretty good. It's good, to be honest with you. It's a good drone from Yuneec.
Yeah.
Like I said, when the first time I got it, I had issue with it because I was the first one who got it. It needs the only thing it needs is a firmware update. But after that, it got better.
Yeah, I did the update.
The Mantis G or the Mantis Q?
Oh, okay. Because before, when I actually got it, they have a little issue. Like there's like lags, even though when you're flying like not trying to say long range, about like not even a mile, it will return signals, and they want to land. They want to not return to home. He wants to land. So I just pretty much just delete the app and redo it again and contact Yuneec USA company, and they helped me out. So all you gotta do is as soon as I got the next firmware update, got better. It's a good drone.
Now, AJ, where are you located?
I'm actually in Jacksonville, Florida, man. What's going on?
So you got it. When did you get yours?
Huh?
When did you get yours?
I got mine when it was after it was like a month released already. I had it when it was really brand new. That's the problem about buying a brand new drone, because you're gonna have a lot of issue with you know how it is with new drones.
Are we talking about are you talking about the Mantis G or the Mantis Q?
Actually the Q.
He picked up the Mantis G.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how did you? I don't understand.
Yeah, they just
I'm
actually
sorry.
released it to the general public on Thursday night. So
Wow.
So he bought it
Friday.
Right
I got the first one off of the shelf at Best Buy.
Oh, okay. So I got a question for you. What they add on there? I just want to know. They still have. I mean, the camera quality is pretty good though.
They upgraded the camera quality. They gave it cinema mode, and then they did a They did a firmware update. The battery's supposed to last longer. It basically
32
looks
minutes,
just
right?
like it looks just
Yeah.
like like the Q. It's basically the same size. I would almost assume that, there's some interchangeable parts there, but it does have a 4K camera and longer flight time, and it's got voice control. So you can talk to the controller and tell it to start recording, return to home. You can change the modes and all that just by voice commands.
But
Got
doesn't the Mantis Q though? Doesn't that only have 2-axis stabilization, like gyro?
It does, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
does.
when you tilt, you see the right.
Yeah,
Yes,
because
you
this
do.
has
Yes, yes.
three. This has got three
Right.
axes.
So
Yes.
3x. You're right. Okay.
Hey, Brian.
That's what I had an issue with. Yes, but they fixed that with the next firmware update. They fixed it.
Really?
You're gonna have that issue when you're flying at night because in low light. So they're using optical mechanical. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it only works in a good and like bright light. But when you're flying in a low light, it does that. But they fixed that with the new firmware update. But it's not bad, man. They did a good job. I'm pretty happy with the quality.
Oh yeah, there you go. Let me blow this up, man. Hold on.
Guys, the quality on the Mantis is actually better than compared to the Breeze, and also compared to the Dolby drone. I would say the Spark, competitor to Spark.
All right, now bear in mind for this video, it was extremely windy. He was flying in Tropical Storm Nestor while this was happening.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the grass blowing. I mean, it was like 20, 25 mile per hour gusts there.
And then the
I got
higher
a
he
question for you.
gets, go ahead.
What kind of phone are you using?
This is an Android.
See, that's the problem. You gotta use the
iPhone.
Use the Apple. Yes.
Hey,
I use
Brian.
the Android. I use the S9. I had issue with it. Just letting you know. When I use the Apple, I use the iPhone 10.
Can you
Give me a
see?
better
Can you see
video
how
quality.
that's? Can you see how that's curved?
Yeah,
Hold on.
Oh yeah, look at that. It is like
it's actually
fisheye.
better.
Hey, Brian, can you turn that EIS off? Kind of like,
Yeah.
and what does that do to the image?
When you go see, that's 4K with EIS off. See how it kind of tilts a little bit. See the
Oh,
curvature.
Right?
So that's the 4K with the horizon being curved really bad.
Now what's that jumping? Is that SD card jump? Digital jump?
That's actually downlink digital jump. So because this what you're seeing, it was recorded straight from the drone to my
To
phone.
the phone. Okay. So you didn't
Yeah.
have an SD card in it at the time.
No, so that was in 4K, and then this is in 2.7K, and I'll show you the same horizon shot in 2.7K, so that way you can see the difference in.
Now, Mike Gilbert has a question for you.
So here's the same horizon shot. See how it's nice and straight?
Right. And that's in what? 2.7K?
That's 2.7.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay, that's strange. So they're removing the EIS.
Okay.
So he wants to know if it's 1 2/3 sensor or not.
Yeah, it's basically the. I mean, I would say it's the same camera that's on like the Mavic Spark or the Spark, the DJI Spark. It's probably the same camera that's on the Spark or maybe the Mavic Air. But like I said, at 4K it crops a little bit. You get the fisheye, and then in 2.7K you don't. It also goes 1080p in 30 and 1080p in 60.
No 120, huh?
No
slow
120. Nope, you don't. The lowest or the highest you can get is 60 in 1080p. That's it. All right, I'm gonna have to move because I'm at a gas pump, well, diesel pump actually, and I had a motorcycle behind me, and now I get to back up where I can actually get on the pump. But yeah, I mean, I guess you guys saw the U-Haul trailer behind me.
Yeah.
That was a necessity to get the M210 package and everything in there, and I wish I could show you. I probably can. Let me see if I can do this. Let me I'm going to minimize this for 1 second, and then I'm going to shoot a text message over here, and I'll show you what I got in this U-Haul. See.
So place it here. Don't forget, man, if you're in the Florida area, Drone Worship Fest is tomorrow at the Sulphur Springs Water Tower in Tampa. Starting at 11 to 5 p.m. Bring what you fly. Come on out. Have some fun. If you have any questions, my email address is in the description below. I can tell you exactly where to go and drop the directions for you. We invite everyone. It's a free public event. Just show up. Have some fun. AJ, if you're still there, thanks for stopping in. It looked like you kind of pieced out on us because you had something to do. But, when he started saying he had it, I'm like, what? A month? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Hey, Brian, the reason I asked you that, and I know they're not comparable, but like even like on the Osmo Action, they initially called that the EIS, and then they changed that to call it, what was it, Rocksteady. And I know if you turned that off, that kind of helped with that curvature problem. That's why I was asking that question.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like with the EIS off in 4K, it had the fisheye and the curvature. So when I went to 2.7K with EIS on, that's whenever it went away. And
really? Okay.
Yeah. So let me see what happened here. I'm trying to get this picture.
So you did fly it today. No SD card, so we don't have any real good footage of it. Just the phone recording that went back to your cache, right?
Yeah, I've got the videos from the drone straight into my phone. It downlinks it into your phone, and then your phone records it on the app. So I've got my fingers crossed that the footage that comes off of my SD card in my phone over to my laptop when I get to do my editing tonight, that it looks pretty decent. Looking at it on my phone, like, right now over the internet, it's not that great, but the colors are great. And like I said, the footage was good. I think that for someone who is debating on spending, $500 or $600 on a new drone, that would be a really good platform. It doesn't have obstacle avoidance and all that, like, some of the other stuff out there does, obviously. But it's good. It's easy to fly. And the really cool thing was I didn't get any crap. I didn't have to create a app like you do with DJI and set up an account or anything. I took it out of the box. I downloaded the app on my phone, and then there's a QR code that you scan on the side of the drone with your phone. You just put your phone up there, scan the QR code, and when you plug your phone into the controller in a USB-C, it automatically finds your phone, the controller, the drone, links everything up, and then it said there was an update required. And it took, maybe like 10 minutes for that to download. And then it gave me a camera. It said ready to fly. I had GPS. It showed me the Google map of where I was at, or drop map box. It showed me right where I was at. And, the speeds on it, altitude on it was all on point. When you minimize the app, you don't see all those no-fly zones like the heliports and the airports and all that. So you could probably take this thing off from an airport runway, basically. So it doesn't have all that stuff in it that we're used to. And I got no warnings or anything. It fired right up. I actually launched it off the bed of the truck, off of that hardcover that I got on the bed of the truck, launched it off of that, and then just zipped it around for a little bit. The wind was, like I said, 20, 25 in the air, probably 10, 15 on the ground. And it did good. I didn't sit there and think to myself, okay, this thing's garbage. It's a kid's drone, or it's $100 drone. I thought, yeah, I mean, I think it needs to be a little cheaper. I really do. I think it needs to be like, $499 or $399 or something like that. My opinion, if I was
that would make more sense, because you can pick up the original Mavic Pro with LiDAR and all the crazy obstacle avoidance and all that precision landing and all that stuff for like $770 or something like that. So for an extra $70, you could end up getting the Mavic, Pro, the original Mavic Pro. So I get where you're
the camera quality's better, in the DJI, the first Mavic, than in the Yuneec Mantis G. So, I mean, they're going to have a hard time selling that for $699 once. I mean, not only my opinion, but once, 20, 30 people put their opinion out there. I've watched all of the videos that's on YouTube in the last 48 hours on the Mantis G, and every one of them is someone talking about the drone. They don't actually have it. And the ones that are legit with people with the drone came from Yuneec. So,
All right,
yeah.
so give me 1 sec, AJ. Let me ask you one more question. Does it have any specialty shots like droney or any of the stuff that's offered, by DJI? Like if we're comparing it to the competitor, does it have any of those specialty shots? Mission obstacle points, anything like that?
It
Well,
has.
I had the first version. I'm sorry, but it has it has few. It has like 3 flight mode that time they add on. I think they have like a droney. They had like a circle, something like that. But they have like active track. They kind of had that feature to it. But the active track is very good though. I was surprised. It can actually track me at night, even in low light. And one more
Yeah.
thing. Of course, it doesn't have obstacle avoidance as a Spark, but for what it does, it's fast. I mean, I'm surprised how quick it is. I mean, I got the first version. I think he has the second version, but my first version was, I mean, I'm surprised what it can do. To be honest with you, I've flown the Parrot Anafi. The reason why I didn't like about the Parrot Anafi because the SD card is I had issue with it, and also the range is not giving me a right range. But the Anaf, I call this the Yuneec Mantis, has
Mhm.
better range. I'm telling you right now. I would say close to Spark.
All right, well, give me 1 sec, AJ. I wanted to finish up with Brian because his might
Okay,
not
fine.
offer the same thing that yours does. So, Brian, did yours come with any specialty shots of any kind?
Yeah, it's got the same. It's got the droney shot, the follow me active track, and then it has a cinema mode.
Cinema mode.
Yeah. So what it does is it actually it slows the drone down and stabilizes it, and then it
It's like a
allows
tripod
you
mode.
to. Yeah, it
Yeah,
just
it's
kind
like
of
a tripod. Yeah,
just kind of comes by nice and slow, and
yeah,
and catches
this is good.
you from an angle from the side. So yeah, I mean it's cool. It's got a cool factor to it, but it doesn't have like asteroid shot and um, that kind of thing. So it's like, hey,
Thomas wants to know the flight time of it.
It's about
33
31
minutes.
minutes.
I got 33 out of the new one,
Oh
out of the
wow.
G. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. For mine, I had 31 minutes. I actually timed it on
It took the
extreme wind.
battery an hour and a half to charge, and then it was fully charged, and it took the controller about 45 minutes. That was out of the box.
Are you charging the battery by itself, or can it stay in the drone?
No,
You have
you can
to.
take him off.
It came with a three
Yeah, it
battery
does.
charger, like a
Yeah, it does,
stick,
right?
and
Yeah, it
you can
does.
set 3 batteries in it,
Yeah, you can
and
sit
so
31. To be honest with you, I only got 1 battery.
yeah.
But I'm like, oh
Well,
man, this thing make me want to buy 2 more batteries.
see,
That's
they
kind of
don't
the
even
idea.
they didn't even have any accessories or anything, because whenever they brought it out of the back on the dolly the night before, the lady that was working the electronics section, she said, we only got 2 on the pallet. She said, we got a whole pallet of DJI stuff, and we got a whole pallet of some GoPro 8s and all that. She said, we got
Did you
2.
buy yours at Best Buy? Because I bought
Yeah, I
mine at
did.
Best Buy.
I did. And so I said, well, do me a
Yeah.
favor. I said, search all of Best Buy's database and see where there's more. And she looked at all of like 250 miles from Middle Florida and said, we have the only 2. So I said, well, let me have that one.
To be honest with you, Yuneec is actually better than Parrot. I'm sorry, but the Parrot Anafi was this was great. It was like the only way it can record is from my phone recording. The SD card totally sucks because you gotta buy like a special mod from a Parrot, and then you have to put it to your MacBook or your Android or whatever, or you have to put it in your I call this in your computer, your laptop, and you have to modify it. And I couldn't get a chance to modify the SD card, and I couldn't record a video. But to me, the Mantis, to be honest with you, has better range, it's faster. The flight time is actually better. The video quality, it's okay. I liked it. You know what I mean? It's not like it was not bad. It was decentable that I'm happy with it. You know,
I'm gonna at AJ.
to be
I'm gonna
sorry to be
disagree with you. Parrot has been a leading in innovation for drone tech for quite
no.
some time.
I like Parrot. Look,
Okay.
I like Parrot. I like their Parrot Bebop. I've flown their Parrot Bebop. I've flown their Parrot Bebop 1. I've flown the Part 2. I've flown the Disco. All right. I'm happy with those. All right. I have no issue with them with the SD card. I have no issue with the app. Everything is good. But only time that I issue with is the Parrot because that was the time that when I got it was new, and we have issue with the SD card and also the app, the active track. You have to pay $100 that to the app, and they actually give it for free now because people was complaining like myself. Parrot actually give it for free. It also was a beta. I have a beta app because I got it for the very first time. That was it. But I don't know. Like I said, it needs firmware update. I'm pretty sure they probably fixed it.
Dude, Brian, I can hear all that wind. It's still windy where you're at.
Dude, it's 35 miles an hour here. I'm trying to get in. I'm gonna mute my mic for a second and then go in here and get some drinks for the road. So,
all right. While he's doing that, I would like anybody with questions right now about the Mantis G to put them in the comment section so that we can make sure when he's back that he can answer those for you while we have him on here. He had all day to play with it, have fun, push the abilities of it, try everything. I do want to go into the transmitter because I think it's a little different than the Mantis Q. No, I think the Mantis G and the Mantis Q have two different transmitters.
Yeah, they're different.
So I kind of want to know what would you say about your Mantis Q that you like the most about the transmitter, and give me your pros and cons while he's doing this.
To be honest with you, I got no pros and cons on the transmitter because it is what it's supposed to say. You know what I mean? I didn't go too far. I just go what it says. You know what I mean?
No, I'm saying when we say pros and cons, you ready? Tactile feel feels good in your hands, good grip, made with good material, solid. The buttons have a really good depression point on them. This is the stuff that I look for. How well built is it? Does it feel like quality? Does it feel chintzy? That's what I mean by pros and cons.
To be honest with you, it's like a Nafi.
Oh.
It's just like a Nafi controllers.
Yeah.
Well,
thank you, JDS.
Yeah. To be honest with you, man. To be honest with you, this is the problem. I think I had the Ultra Robotics first, and when I got the Ultra Robotics, I felt like it was a second of a DJI. You know, I felt like I'm flying like a Mavic, but it doesn't have the feature. That's the drawback, and you cannot launch in your hand. You have to like put in the ground to launch it. That's the drawback that I got rid of it because in my Mavic I can fly my hand. My Spark I can fly my hand. I can just take off with my hand, right? With the Ultra Robotics that time you can't do it. It doesn't have a sport mode that time. It did not have the what is it called? They call it the
ludicrous mode.
Ludicrous. It did not have a ludicrous that time. The only they have is that time was the waypoints. That was it. It didn't have no quick shot. It did not have droney. It did not have anything like the Spark has or the Mavic Pro. And I said to myself, there's a lot of feature here is missing, and it's also beta when I got it because I have to contact I have to contact the Anafi company and talk to the. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, guys. I have to contact the Evo, the Ultra Robotics company. Say, hey, what's going on beta? Why I cannot get the app yet? That time they didn't have the app. See, the problem about me is buying the drone so early. When you're buying the drone so early, you have all this issue. You're basically a beta tester. And there's sometimes in the horizon, when you're flying the drones up, you know how you fly your Spark in the air? You just low down and pinpoint. Sometimes my camera is tilting to the right. I got tilted horizon.
Yeah.
They fixed that. Yes, I know they fixed it. But like I said, you know, it was a low process. In that time, I said to myself, man, you know, I spent like $1,000 for this drone. But the good thing is the transmitter. Like, you don't even need to be honest with you, you don't even need a phone. This thing can go almost 4 miles. almost 5 miles just using a transmitter. The little LCD that they put on there or the OLED display, you might say it's a 4.3 display or 4.5 display, right? But it can give you a long range. I would say, I'm not saying it's like OcuSync, but it's like, man, it gives me a long range, but not using a phone. Dude, I'm not using any phone. So that's how good the Ultra Robotics
Third
controller.
third eye view. We're actually waiting for Brian to come back. He does have the Mantis G. He's been flying it for a whole day now, and he's had some time to put some definite stick time in on it and see what his thoughts are and test all the features. So we have some questions. He should be coming back any second. He just ran inside the store to get some drinks, and then he'll be back to give us more of his thoughts on this thing. So.
Hey, drone worship. I'm sorry. So you have the Ultra. You have the what do you call this? You have the 3DR Solo controllers, right? You know how it feels.
Quality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Though that
quality.
one and the Phantoms are good like that. Like same thing with the
But that's
you would
also
say the Spark.
that's also why they cost $2,200 out the hole.
Yes. Yes,
So,
of course.
big difference, man.
Yeah, with your GoPro. Yes, I know that. But the Mantis, I would compare it with the Anafi controllers. Like you would. That's how I look at it. I mean, me feeling it is like I'm not disappointed of it, but it's to me, I felt like it feels like Anafi.
So the Evo, to answer some of these questions in there, the
Okay, go
Evo
ahead.
did have tons of gimbal issues out the hole, and
Yes, I did have.
that lasted 6 months or better with the problems with the gimbal before they finally were able to correct that firmware problem. So,
Yes.
you may have gotten one, Thomas, at a good time. Maybe the update was already done and you ended up with one that didn't have gimbal issues. A lot of people had to send theirs back because the firmware did not fix the problem. So Evo definitely, every drone that's released is plagued by some problem. You don't know what it is until after you start flying it, test it, and find these things out. That's why we do these tests. That's why we talk about this stuff. But I hear you, man. He said, I've had no issues with mine. I had it over a year now. I feel you.
To my sorry, the problem about the Ultra Robotics when I got mine early, I got mine. I think I pre-ordered since like April or May. Sorry, I put like $300. Not many people did that. I did that before that because to me, I'm like I want the Ultra Robotics so bad in my hand. I want the Evo. When I had mine, it did a good job. Like to be honest with you, the only concern that I have with the Evo is the fact that I couldn't launch in my hand, and the other thing is that I cannot do the active track is great on it. The active track can track you at night. You see my video? This thing can track me like in pitch black. I'm riding my bicycle at freaking pitch black at night. You fucking follow me. I'm like, holy crap. Sorry, my language. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, damn, this thing is following me in pitch black environment. I'm like, damn, I'm not gonna get hit one of these drones. But I'm surprised what it can do. I'm happy, but that's the only thing that I'm really concerned of is like I have tilt issue and I'm also I cannot launch my hand. I also contact the Ultra Robotic companies. I told them like the customer service, like, hey, look, I just want to know how I cannot launch a drone in my hand. Like if I put in a boat, it will not launch. What's going on? I don't want to say DJI, but like some of my drones can do it. Even a Parrot Anafi can do it. What's going on? They're just like, right now, it's still new, still beta, with using the iOS and this and that. And I'm like, well, if I only know about that, you could have told me these things. If I feel like if I'm a beta tester, you could have told me because I'm not a beta tester.
AJ, I hate to cut you short, man. You kind of got to stay on topic because everybody's here for the Mantis G. What I mean? We can talk a little bit of stuff, but we have to kind of remember that we can't just go on and on. We got to kind of try to the topic. So real quick, these are questions that I think only Brian can answer here. Are you ready, Brian? With your mouth full of great food. All right. Timeless Truth wants to know what range you should operate. What should the operator expect?
Probably about
mile.
Yeah, 3,000 to 4,000 feet before you start having some glitching.
Yes.
Now, do you think they're going to offer a parabolic dish setup for that? Because those antennas look very close to the Spark antennas, and if that's
They're
the case,
identical. They're the same
what I
exact. They fold up, look the same, but they don't stand up straight. They only come
fine.
off the controller at a 45-degree angle.
that's all right. You could still get the parabolic dishes for the Spark and probably slap them on there. And I mean, I took my Spark out 2 miles, so with the
But
parabolic dishes.
sorry, the Spark has two. It has is it called auto? It means it can go to 2.4 gigahertz all the way down to what's the other gigahertz they're using?
Well, there's 5G and 2.4.
Yeah, you have that.
But
What
but
the Mantis-
the whole thing is with 5G, you're not actually extending your signal. You're just making better video. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the Yuneec you only got one.
2.4, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it 2.4 or 5G, B? Brian? Huh? 2.4 or 5G? What is it?
I think it's both.
Maybe he has the newer version, but for mine is 2.4.
Okay, next question here. Can the gimbal acceleration and deacceleration be adjusted so that the motion ramps up and down rather than being abrupt?
No.
Okay, so that's interesting that they ask that, because the wheel that is on the left side of the controller, when you move it full to one side or the other, the gimbal moves about half the speed of the competitors, and you can actually control it to move it really slow by just barely moving it, just barely pulling on it. But when you hit full speed on it, it's not that fast. And I didn't see an adjustment anywhere in the
It's pretty
settings.
slow.
I would assume that the roller on the right is a preset, no, for the gimbal, so you can preset it at the angle that you want it to start at. No,
No.
when you like the solo, when I like the right side of the solo transmitter,
It's
if I pull
different. Solo is totally different, my friend.
no, the solo's a beast. But you see, I got the roller on here. This is actually a preset, so I can roll this
Yeah.
back and forth to preset my gimbal. So when I start up, it automatically starts up at that same one every time.
No, it doesn't do that way.
It
I'm
centers.
sorry, maybe his is newer.
When you turn
but
it
for
on, it
mine-
centers, and then you have to move it whichever way you want.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know still. Let's see here.
It does have a really cool feature in the controller. You can push down on the stick. It has like a detent on the stick, so you can set it in your app settings to turn off your LEDs, recenter the gimbal, switch map mode, return to home. There's a bunch of different things. You can switch like cinema mode just by pushing down on the throttle, and you can feel it click.
All right. Now tell me about the transmitter. What are your thoughts?
Laying side by side with a paired Anafi controller or a Skydio controller, it's basically the same exact thing. It's small, and it's plastic. It's 2-piece plastic that's screwed together, has an internal battery, and it's really light, and it basically reminds you of like a Walmart toy drum controller.
Can you ask AJ why he is such a DJI fanboy and why he keeps deleting perfectly normal questions about DJI products? Negative. What? I'll let you take that one, brother. You read it? Oh, I don't hear him. Do you guys hear his audio?
No.
I don't
He's
hear it.
muted or something.
I think he might have muted himself. Oh boy. Del, I don't know what happened. AJ, you're not there anymore. Your audio is gone.
So what's the next question?
There isn't one. The last one to lead off is AJ. Oh, Third Eye View says Does the Mantis have 2.8 or 5G? But I think we just covered that. I'm assuming you're operating on 2.4 and your 5G is your video feed.
Yeah, that's probably the case. I haven't been that far into it. You know, like I unboxed it last night, and today I took it out and downloaded the app, went through the settings, flew it, filmed with it, and I commented on its stability in the wind and, you know, that kind of thing. So
Do you have it in the truck with you?
it's in the trailer. It's locked up in the trailer.
Okay. So just so Third Eye, just so you know, you should subscribe to iAdventures channel because he's already been playing with it. He unboxed it last night and he had an opportunity to fly it, play with it, put some stick time in on it today. And I think so far you're impressed. Yeah, I mean, it's not horrible, right? Do you think it's worth the $700 price point though?
No, I think they need to drop the price to $499 or at least $599, offer some discounts or some sales on it, because honestly,
He's right. $499 to $500.
you know, I mean, in all reality, if I was going out tomorrow to buy a drone for myself, like to have long-term fly, play with, and use for YouTube and all that, I would probably go, if I only had $700, I would probably go buy a, you know, a DJI Mavic Pro first version, or I would buy a Spark or a Mavic Air for that same dollar value. I mean, if you can't spend $1,600, that's what I would do. If I'm going to buy a Yuneec product, it would be a, you know, a Typhoon H or maybe a 920 or something. If I'm going to spend, you know, $1,000.
Source.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, 3DR open source. I know how you feel about that. So as far as the monkey that I got in the trailer right now, you know, they need to drop the price on it, and they probably should, you know, add some firmware updates, you know, for some cool features that's in the app to, you know, do like a, you know, like a 360. But I mean, it does have the part where, you know, you call it a droney, where you and your girl could be up on the rock and you hit the button and it, you know, films you and flies back and away and all that.
Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, man. I'm gonna let you dress. Okay.
Sorry, he's totally right. Whatever he said, I feel the same way. I'm on your hand, because that's what I feel about the Mantis. I feel you about what he just said. Okay, well now
we're gonna address.
Okay.
Now, hold on. We're gonna address that. Let's answer the last question. Brent asked about video quality. What kind of video quality can we expect? Some of these people are just popping in, Brian, so you're going to have to kind of fill them in again.
I mean, like I said, the 4K is good. Looking at it on my phone screen, it's pretty good, but it does have that fisheye curvature of the horizon in it. And then when you go to 2.7K or 1080p, it's nice and square and it looks good. So, you know,
that's being helped along by the electronic image stabilization, the EIS on it, correct?
Yeah, I mean, like I need to take that footage out of my phone and put it on my laptop and look at it, you know, on my laptop, because I have a very expensive HP with a, you know, it's got the OLED screen and all that. I'm not looking at it on a cell phone or a tablet and see what kind of footage I get. Yeah.
You got okay. Then you can see, to me, I have iOS, so I use like I have MacBook and stuff like that, so I would use the Final Cut Pro. And they have the distortion. It kind of remind me of a GoPro when I put in a 4K. But he is right. Whatever he says, to be honest with you, I totally understand. So be honest to you, man. I feel him.
AJ,
whatever he say, go ahead.
I am a big fan of being transparent. Okay. And Darian here is talking mad stuff about you, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to hammer it out with everybody right now. I don't know what's going on between you two, but I'm a pretty open book. So guys, for 1 second, we're going to pause this and let AJ and Darian have a go. Darian's question was, can you ask AJ why he's such a DJI fanboy and why he keeps deleting perfectly normal questions about DJI products? It's negative stuff, man. And then he goes on to say, I wonder why his audio quit. Pretty coincidence to me. He's welcome to answer now. So let's just have the floor for a sec. AJ, you're on the floor. Somebody has asked you a question. Let's have it, man.
To be honest with you, I would say I'm a DJI fan because it's just like, to me it works. I mean, from the Spark, from a Tello, even a Tello little drone, from a, from a Phantom, from, I mean, to be honest with you, I've flown the 3DR Solo, and to me that was a good drone. And having a Phantom 3 professional and standard, it did me great. And also a GoPro Karma. I know a lot of people hate the GoPro Karma. To me, I like the GoPro Karma because I'm also a GoPro fan. And like, to me, when I had the Phantom, it has more features. It's not just, it can follow you, it can do things. It's just more things you can do. I mean, it has tripod mode. I mean, it has everything you can think of for the money what you're spending. So I'm sorry about what I said or whatever.
No,
To
you're
be
good.
honest with
Now,
you,
his second question. So you answered why. Okay, why you're such a fanboy. Now he's asking why you delete comments. I'm assuming he's talking about on your channel.
it depends because some people are giving me some rude, like some bad whatever. So I just, okay, what's going on? But I don't know which one I delete. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it back in my comment. But I don't know why I deleted it. But I'm just saying. But some people are just being an ass to me. I'm sorry about not you, but there's some certain people are just giving back to my channel, just saying stupid stuff, and I'm just like, I'm delete all the negative stuff, you know, and that's about it.
Okay.
If you don't, I'm just a DJ. I'm not saying I'm not the DJI guy. It's just the fact that I know how the drone works, and I've flown. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not. I'm just not a DJI fan. I tried everything. I tried Alter Robotics. I tried. To be honest with you, I actually lost a drone. I actually lost a Zoom. Um,
I'm
the
going to tell
Mavic
you to
Pro
start.
2.
I'm going to tell you to start lying to me pretty soon because you say to be honest with you a lot. So from now on, just lie to me, sir. Okay.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Well, if you see my video, I'm sorry. If you see my video, I actually lost the Mavic Pro 2 Zoom. I'm actually paddleboarding, and the drone just fell in the middle of the water. And I said, "What the hell is going on here?" I mean, I've been flying so many drones, right? I have to contact with DJI. To be honest with you, I don't want to be a DJI fan anymore. I said, you know what? I'm just gonna delete all my DJI drones, and I'm gonna get me Altel Robotics, right? But they came back to me, they talked to me, and this was the issue. They give me a Mavic Pro 2. They want me to pay. I'm like, I'm not paying anything. But I don't want to say I'm a DJI fan. That's the only thing that works for me. If you see my video, I can actually use 4 drones at the same time without no controller following me on the beach. No other drones can do that. You know, 4 drones. Talking about like not a mile, 2 miles. No controller with me, just doing active track,
Hmm.
following me on the boosted board. And the boosted board has a Bluetooth in it. And if, like I said, it just works for me. That's all.
Ron has a question for you. Ron.
AJ had, I don't know whether you got the first Autel Robotics right off the assembly line, but I owned one for a year and
Hmm.
I had no problem hand launching it. And I had no problem launching it from a boat, which you said you could not do.
I just want to know, when did you get your Ultra Robotics?
It was last year.
What month of last year? I just want to know.
I don't know, recall exactly what month, but and I know they come out with that boat mode, but I didn't have the problems that you're.
I'll be right back.
I'm not trying to make you look bad, but I didn't have those problems that you're explaining. And I had the drone for a year, but
Um, I know they did a lot of firmware updates
they did.
because when I got my Ultra Robotics, that's the time when they just came out.
Right.
And to be honest with you, when I had it, they don't even have an app. Listen to this: the Ultra Robotics company has to call me and give me a beta. They have to give me a beta app to my iOS
I remember
so I
that.
can use. Yeah.
They had it for, I can't remember, it was for iOS or for Android. And no, they had it for Android, not for iOS. And then it
Yes.
quickly came out for iOS.
Hmm.
But I had mine just a couple months after that. Took it to Alaska, hand launched it off a boat, launched it off the boat. No problems whatsoever. It did have
Well,
the horizon tilt. But again, like like Dan said, any drone that's going to come out,
Different. Yes.
everybody has problems as soon as they come out, and they're
Okay.
all fixed within a couple of months.
Okay. I want to go and explain to you. Okay. My
Okay.
Ultra Robotics, you're gonna be laughing because my back obstacle avoidance works. When you back up to me, it will not go all the way back. It will stop just like the Mavic, like the Mavic Air would do. Like you know how people would say, "Hey, how come your Ultra Robotics drone, the back should obstacle avoidance should not work? It should just warn you." I said, "What are you talking about?
Exactly.
It works."
That's what it did.
Mine stops. Mine stop. Mine go forward. It's hilarious. Mine go forward, and then my front obstacle avoidance go backwards. So if I'm going like I don't have a sport mode that time, I didn't have the what's called the ludicrous. So mine when I was going forward, it will stop and it will go backwards. It will not stay like you know how would the Mavic drones or the Spark would just stay when it's obstacle avoidance when something's in front of it, you know, just stay in one position. This one will go back up. It will just go reverse. I'm like, hold on for a second. So I have to like pretty much control it normal to make it stop.
Right.
But that's the only issue that I have.
I gotta ask you,
If
man. What? Sorry, but what has? Tell me about the videos you make, man. Because you have Al Diaz in here now, Darian Breen. They're picking you apart, bro. And I don't like what. Are you telling people to purchase things and being honest in your videos about what they can do and the like? I'm just curious because it seems like you have a lot of people in here right now that are not a fan of your work. So I'm just,
well,
I'm not trying to be a jerk. I just want to try to figure out what's going on here.
All right, I want to go ahead and tell you guys what I'm all about. Okay, I'm a guy that used this. This is me. Okay, the first drone that I actually flown was a Phantom. It was the first Phantom. Okay, and that time, that minute of that time, it was not powerful like the drones now. The drone back then it would not fly on extreme wind. The reason why I want the drone to fly in extreme wind because I do kiteboarding, I do surfing. I want to be in extreme wind. And that time we would spend a lot of money on the aerial photographer to give us a nice footage when we're surfing or we're kiteboarding, we're on the beach, but they don't want to come because they know that the weather sucks and they don't want to be there. And to me, I'm just like, you know what? I want to get me a drone or I'm going to wait for the drone that's going to come out that are actually going to follow me any condition. If it's raining or anything, I want a drone that I would pay the money. I would pay $3,000, $4,000 if I had to. That can do the stuff that I wanted to do.
Well,
and to be honest with you,
they have the splash drone, man. It's all waterproof. You can fly it in the rain.
That's back then. There's no flash drone back then. You're talking about like
you're talking about like original DJI open source.
Yes.
Stuff. Okay.
Yes. And to me, that's where I'm not saying my ego. That's what I've been doing. And to me, the drones now is so awesome. Like they can all do the same thing. Like the Anafi, it can do the job. But the drawback about the Anafi is you cannot pour water. The Mavic Air, you can put water on it and it will not like fall on the ground. It's still flying. The some other drones, the Ultra Robotic is good about that. If you see my video, the Ultra Robotics did a good job. You can actually hover. You can put water on it. You can actually put 2 water bottles. It can lift up. That's how strong the Ultra Robotics. But the only time that I have a drawback on the Ultra Robotic is the fact that I couldn't launch in the boat because I'm a water guy. I do water sports, and that's what I wanted to do. So sorry about if I offended anybody.
Dude, I had no.
That was it. But I know they fixed it.
We're not saying you offended anybody. They were asking questions and they had some curiosities. I think you covered those answers. Yeah. Whether they agree with them or not, that's the fun thing about being human is that not everybody has to agree with everybody,
like to my channel, like I told everyone, I'm like, if you're going to spend some money, if you're going to spend $1,000, make your money worth it, And I feel what's this guy with the one with I call this with whatever he feel about the whatever he felt about his Mantis, it's about the feeling that I had. I'm like, okay, what's going on here? It doesn't fly like he's right. Most of the things that he said is true. I wish he got some more features in it, like the same thing as a Spark, especially selling it for $700, $699. That's the only issue that I had. I'm like, okay, at least he has some feature to it. The video quality is pretty decent, The Anafi, I had issue with the SD card. I bought 2 different kind of SD card. I had issue with it. The Ultra Robotic is a good drone. It's actually my favorite. It's actually my second, to be honest with you.
Darian has one more question for you, and then after
Okay.
that, guys, we're going to return to Mantis G discussion, okay?
Okay. All right.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it. Well, what I'm saying is that the Mavic Pro 2 and the Mavic Zoom has a LED light in the bottom. It can actually, it's so bright enough that active track can actually track you. That's why I said it can follow you in a pitch black. So even though you're in a pitch black environment, what happened is the bottom, it can still track you because the light is so bright that it can track you. The Ultra Robotics can do the same thing without that. The Ultra Robotics did a good job. If you see my video, I'll show it to you. I'm actually riding my bike in a pitch black. This thing's following me in pitch black. And guess what? It actually stopped on the obstacle avoidance. There's actually a tree in front of it, and it actually stopped. You're talking about like 9 o'clock at night. Dark already. So, did a good job. That's it.
So I'm curious, did you show you using active track and then throwing your phone in your, whatever and taking off, or was there a transmitter involved in a backpack?
No backpack at all. With the Mavic, which one? The Mavic Pro or the Ultra Robotics? Which one?
Because as far as I know, man, it's going to have a really hard time tracking you at night. It is.
Tracks me.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna make a video. I'm gonna make a video.
Okay.
And I'm gonna show it to you. Okay. I'm gonna show it to you. Have you guys watched my Rover, my RoboMaster? It can follow me at pitch black. All I did is add a LED lights on it. It follows me around.
Well, you have enough people here that say they're interested in seeing you make that video from start to finish.
Yeah. Yes, I will. I'll make it. I actually do it in a Zoom. I actually have 2. If you see my video, I actually did the Zoom, and I actually did the Mavic Pro 2. But I'll be honest with you, I don't even need a controller. I can just put the controller somewhere. I can go for like a mile away or 2 miles. And by the time the battery goes out, it will just return to home with the way I send it back.
All right. Well, you're getting pretty called out in the comment section. So you have enough people. His name is AJ Alvarez. You should subscribe to his channel. He says he swears to God he's going to make a video for you, right?
I'll make a video for you guys.
There you go, man.
But like I said, I don't want to, I don't want to say how bad the drones are, the experience that I had. But to me, Ultra Robotics is actually my second drone. That drone can, you see my video, I put waters on that thing. You look at it on my channel, just put Ultra Evo and just put waterproof or water resistance. You'll see what I did to it.
So let's do this.
I put the drone to the extreme wind.
Let's do this. You said it followed you, if I remember correctly earlier, in the dark on the beach. Yes? That's not what you said? Is that what you said?
No. What are you talking about? Just explain one more time.
Where did this thing follow you?
It can follow me anywhere. I mean, it depends where I want it to be. You mean pitch black?
I find it hard to believe it's not going to see. It's going to be able to see trees at night.
It's not going to happen.
I don't even think it'll let you lock on in that kind of low light settings.
Oh,
it will. No. It will.
All right. Well, you have enough interest. There's enough people in here saying not realistic. Yes. They want to see the video. I'm
gonna make a video for you guys.
Thing you can
be honest with you, I can go all how high you guys want it to. I can go low. How about that? Because I'll make a video that actually can go. If you guys watch my video, actually the one that I went all the way up to almost 335 feet in the air. It can still capture you at night. You see my video, just look at it.
Just so you're aware, the Skydio is the best autonomous factor drone out there for the consumer-based pro market line, and it's still not supposed to track you at night. It can kind of, but not along the type that you're talking about.
Well, to me, I like the Skydio because to me it's just like, to be honest with you, I like the drone. I like about it. But the drawback about the Skydio is the fact that it's just like they said it's autonomous, but it doesn't have a lot of feature. Like the DJI how you call this? I would say the Rover, the RoboMaster, has more feature because you can actually code. You can actually make the Rover what you want to do. And to me, is the Ascadio is autonomous, but it's like okay, it can follow you, but what else it can do? Does he have it's like in sport mode? Does he come with? Sorry, I'm just saying. You know.
They're saying enough talk, prove it. So there you go. You probably just
Yeah.
gained 15 subs just now. You know,
Yeah.
now you
Go
just
ahead.
gotta.
I will show it. I will show it to you guys.
Okay.
I can
AJ,
I
if
put
you
it in
can
my.
prove that, you can prove this. I want to come back on Dan's channel and say I eat my words.
I'll do it for you
I'm not,
guys. You know, to
I'm
be
not
honest.
trying to embarrass you, but been there, done that, worked with that drone for a year and a half, and I don't agree with you.
None of us here are
What kind
trying to.
of what kind of drone are you using? I just want to
I have the Evo for over a year and a half.
Okay.
And I
Well, the
disagree with what
Evo,
you're saying. Three things you
Evo.
told me about that Evo, I 100% disagree with you. And if
Did you see the video? Did you see the video when I was riding my bike?
No, I did not. And one of the things, just to show to you, go to my channel, look at my Alaska video, and you'll see I launched the drone from a boat out in the middle of the bay. You're telling me you can't launch it from a boat?
No, that time I couldn't.
You said that earlier.
No. That time I couldn't launch it in my hand. Like you cannot just launch in your hands. You cannot launch in your boat, and you cannot launch it. The only way you can launch it is in the grass. It has to be flat. That time. Have you watched Original Dubo? Have you watched his channel?
I'm friends with Ken. He lives in my area.
Okay. Did he tell you about he's having issue with his Auto Robotics that he
Yes.
said he cannot.
I'm the one that told him to buy the Altel, and he's really kind of regretting it. He likes it now that it's finally fixed and the gimbal issues are solved, but
Yeah.
he was
But
not
I
happy
think
with his
that-
purchase right out the hole.
Yeah, but for me, that time, that moment, we couldn't launch in our hand, and that's the only issue. To be honest with you, I fight with the Auto Robotics company for like 2 weeks to get that thing situated. I'm like, what's going on here? How come I cannot launch in my hand? And they're like, oh, the reason why, because it has to be the camera is something has to do with with the latitude, so it has to be in the ground to launch. But they probably fix yours. But to be honest with you, the Auto Robotics is great.
Biggest thing I'm going
Long
to you the
have you
track in the dark. If you can
yeah.
show me a video of that, I will come back on Dan's channel in front of the whole world and eat my words.
Well, I don't have an Auto Robotics anymore.
Did you get?
But if you-
Someone's offering you $1,000 to prove it right now.
I don't have Auto Robotics, but again, if you see, just watch my video. If
No,
you
I
see
thought
my
you said
video,
you
it
could.
did-
I'll take $1,000 for my M210 to follow me in the dark. How about that?
I use my Mavic Pro 2 can follow me and my
Super
use
chat
my
me
Mavic Pro
$1,000 and I
You-
will let you watch my M210 follow me everywhere in the dark for 26 minutes.
Even
But
too. Okay, I'm telling you, it's running the same in low light settings, man. These functions just do not work. They have to be able to track you. So I would even still be fine with that. That would be
Okay, I'm gonna use my Mavic Pro 2. Be honest with you, I'm gonna use my Mavic Pro 2. I'm gonna put the transmitter down, and I'm gonna get that thing to follow me, and I'm gonna show you exactly what the drone can do.
Looking forward to seeing that too.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it for you for sure. Because the reason why to be honest with you, it can, as long as that light will light up. Like as long as you're in that loop on that light, you're good to go. But if you go over it, it's totally different.
dude. I don't care if you fly at 7 feet from your face. If it can track you the whole time, I'm impressed.
Okay, I'm gonna do it with my. You know what? Be honest with you, I'm gonna do it with my one wheel, or I might do it with my electric skateboard or something, or my my scooter. How about that?
Dude, just to help your situation, I say strap LEDs all over you.
I don't need to do
Give
that.
it a target. Give it a
to be honest
target.
with you,
I still
how
bet
about
it
this?
won't track you.
How about this? I wear black shirt,
Oh
and
boy.
the thing will track me. Yes.
This is my question is this, and you know, I mean, I don't want to sit here and claim that I'm the best damn commercial drone pilot in the YouTube community, but I've flown everything that has propellers in the last 3 years, And I'm here to say this, and I'm not taking nothing away from you or anything like that. This is my point of view, and then I'm gonna mute my mic and wait for more chats about the Mantis G. So
Okay, go ahead.
with a Mavic 2 Pro, with the Mavic Enterprise Dual, with an M210, a Phantom 4 Pro version 2.0, when you draw a target.
Tell him how much these drones cost that you're talking about right now, so he has a general idea.
Okay, so where do you want me to start? M210, my package I have in the back of the truck is 30 grand, including the batteries and the drawers.
I know how the M210.
So
I know how much.
okay, so you know what a Phantom 4 V2.0 is going for right now because they're hard to get.
Yes, I know.
All right, so
Yes,
$2 grand, $1,500, $1,800. But back to the point. So when you draw your little square, your green square around your subject tracking, and that software that's in that Phantom 4 or in that Mavic 2 Pro, it is using algorithms to track a moving object in that you drew a square around. And as soon as you step outside of that square, the drone stops flying and it gives you the thing on the screen and says active track lost subject. So if you're flying this drone in the night, in the dark, and you're walking down the beach, you're riding your one-wheeler down the road or whatever, low light settings, if you've got your ISO turned all the way up to 3500, you're still not going to be able to let that algorithm and that software and that drone see your body that you drew the green square around to track you. And even with my M210, when I'm doing a search and rescue situation for law enforcement, like I did back in South Carolina in 2017, we were looking for a guy with a thermal imaging 640 by 512 resolution camera, and at 175 feet in the air, we lost track of him because he walked underneath of a tree. So I just can't buy it. You know what I mean? And if it does do that, then Skydio has got some serious shit to wake up to Monday morning.
That's why I said you have to understand the only reason the Skydio might be able to do it is because of the beacon.
The beacon, that's it, because it's tracking that beacon.
To be honest with you, I heard about the Skydio actually when one of my buddy, because he actually had it. I'm not saying had it, he actually pre-ordered it, and they told him already. They said the camera, the 4K, it's so weird. They said that if you show low light, it won't even fly. I don't know if it's for real, but it says the drone only recognize it will fly if you force it to, but it will not fly if you want it automatically. If you have the controller, if you have the I heard if you have the Anafi controller, what they said, the modification, they said it will fly if you use that. But if you use it just using the beacon or using the phone, they said it will not fly. That's what I heard. So just giving you a hands up, because it's to cover their behind. That's what I heard. Trust me, man, I'm gonna get the Skydio.
We're not saying we're not
okay. So
go ahead.
Look, so Dan, you can attest to this because you know a whole lot more about the interworkings of the drone. So when you have active track or any vision positioning sensor on any drone that's manufactured, we all know that drone is using vision to map its surroundings. And if it's black, it cannot use vision because it doesn't have thermal imaging, and MSX technology does not work unless you have some kind of visible light in the background to allow MSX to overlay the outlines for that image. So that software that they show on their commercial of that drone flying around trees and through buildings, and it looks like you're in a 3D virtual world, those cameras are actually using visible light to formulate the algorithm and come up with the image for that drone to fly in. So if it's pitch black, that Skydio is not going to fly inside of a pitch black room or a forest that has no visible light.
Yes, that's what I heard about it.
Now,
I mean,
actually, my friend asked that question.
Now, the Solo can do it with Doppler, okay, obstacle avoidance. It has that ability to connect to Doppler obstacle avoidance, which is different. It's kind of like sonar ping.
Right.
Okay,
That's the same thing the X Dynamics Evolve has.
Right.
It has Doppler.
I got a question for you guys. Sorry. How
LiDAR.
come
It uses
the,
LiDAR.
LiDAR. Okay.
Hold
However,
on, I got a
go ahead. Go ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to bother you guys, but I just want to know why the Skydio don't have no bottom position sensing. I just don't get that. Like especially at night or anything, just in case when the GPS go out or anything like that.
It
You're
does.
supposed to have something. It does have it. I
Yeah.
heard it didn't have any.
Yeah.
It has any.
It does.
Well, this is something people don't know. Let me give you a good lesson on Skydio really quick. When the
Okay.
drone is landing, the front facing camera, when it gets about 3 foot off the ground, it actually looks down on the gimbal. Have you guys paid any attention to any of the Skydios landing at all?
Is that remind me of the Mavic Pro 2? Because Mavic Pro 2 does that. It
Every
has that.
single video that you watch of the Skydio landing, whether it be on the dock or whether it be on the ground or someone's hand, the camera right before it touches down always angles down and looks at the ground.
Yes.
All right.
I got
So
a question for you. Do you have a Mavic Pro 2? Do you have a Mavic Pro Zoom? I just want to know.
who?
Me?
Yeah, I just want to know.
I have about 6 drones right now. I've got a Phantom 4 Pro, the original Pro. I've got a Mavic 2 Pro. I've got a Mavic 2 Enterprise Dual. I have a Yuneec Typhoon H, and I've got an M210 version 2 and an M210 version 1, and 2 XT cameras, an X5S, an X4S, 2 Sendence controllers, and about 20 TB55 batteries, and a charging case. So about $75,000 worth of drones in this trailer right now.
Wow, awesome, man. You're awesome. But okay, with your Mavic, okay, I just want to go ahead and talk about the Mavic 2 because the Mavic 2 has this feature. When you do how you call this, when you're about to take off, right? And then you can put like how you want the position sensing you
what just happened, dude? Ron, all I heard was your chair go. Okay. Well, AJ froze. Guys, I don't think he's coming back here anytime soon. With that being the case, subscribe to his channel. If he's being serious, we'll all be freaking mind blown. I don't want to call the guy a liar because that's not what I'm here to do, but I just want to say that I am a person who's a hobbyist that believes in truth, conclusions, data sheets, planning. I mean, this is what hobbyists do, and this is why we try to be as honest as possible. We keep track of all of our data, and then when we're done, we share that data with everybody. That's a real hobbyist, and that's how we do things. So I would love to see his data sheets he's been keeping. I would love to hear an explanation as to how he's able to accomplish these things if he is, and share it with the world. I mean, this is what we're here for. So, it's just, it's one of those things, man. I hope he proves it to everybody, and he didn't just get a bunch of 15 subs or 16, but 20 subs. I don't know, but I find it really hard to believe that it would have the capability to do that. Just
if he shows that, then he's got something nobody else has, right?
Right. I'd be fucking mind blown. Pardon my French, but boom. All right. So this is still Mantis G, guys. We spent way too long on that subject. Dad Random's asking questions. Let's answer some of those questions. Is the Skydio 2 controller crap? Is it plastic? Is it junk? He wants to know. Give another side reference to this drone, because Dad's still in here and he's been asking questions. Darian, I'd love to continue, but we have to kind of get back to topic. So,
really quick, Dan, on that, I do know for a fact that one of the questions that was answered by Skydio was that they actually outsourced the controller from the same people that Parrot's controller or Parrot. Yeah, so it's the same thing, and it's plastic, two-part, molded plastic, and it's not going to have the feel. Nobody's going to have the feel that a Mavic Pro 2 controller has right now.
Right. Canadian drone guy, what's going on, man? I mean, like I said, my channel is about being transparent. Anybody that comes in here, I ask for transparency. It's really simple. It's not hard to do. If you don't know something, ask. If I don't know something, I'm going to ask. If I can't figure it out, I'll get back to you, and I'll try to give you the best answer or direct you to somebody I can. It's no different than any service department at any store. My thing is to offer you the best possible information and let you move forward from there. So, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So, Mantis G, your total thoughts right now. Give them to me, man. Would you second guess your purchase? Would you go back in and be like, you know what, I have to have this thing, or I could probably do without it? It's an average Joe drone. I mean, that's way too overpriced. You know, what are your thoughts?
My honest take on it is, if you're, like I said, if you're going to go spend $700, you may want to consider some alternatives, because for that price point, if it was cheaper, absolutely. If it was $400 or $500, I would be the number one advocate for Yuneec to, you know, go out there and get this drone, because it's badass for $499. It's badass for $400, but it's not badass for $750 out the door with taxes, considering that you can get some other drones that have obstacle avoidance and, you know, some better camera features and stuff that we all have learned to love and know. And I just, you know, and I would go buy a Yuneec Typhoon H before I would buy a Mantis G. You know, if I was spending $900 or $1,000, but for this price point, you really need to, you know, weigh your options in, as far as, do you just need a selfie drone and something to, you know, maybe film a little bit of a vacation on the beach or something, and you're not really concerned about a lot of the features? Or are you, you know, a fanboy, or are you looking for something specific that has obstacle avoidance and a 4K, you know, 30 FPS camera with, you know, none of that fisheye going on? So I think my final thought is Yuneec needs to drop their price $150, maybe even $200 to make this drone competitive and get their sales up. So that's pretty much the gist of it. It's not
Right.
worth $700. Bottom line. It ain't.
First of all, I just want to say to everybody in here, there's 28 people. Please don't forget to smash the like button. If you have not subscribed to Brian's channel, it is iAdventures. Drop the S and add a Z. It's all one word. You can see it on the screen there. Honestly, Brian is going to dominate the Mantis G algorithm over the next week. He's going to be making tons of flights and tons of videos. Would you agree with that? You're going to put some very comprehensive stuff out there for people. Give your true, honest opinion, thoughts, everything, and try to give them the best example of this bird possible compared to other things that are on the market. I think everybody kind of wants to know that. So if you haven't subbed up to his channel, I suggest you do that. AJ is back. I think at this point, guys, unless there's more questions about the Mantis G, we'll bring AJ back in here and let the entertainment continue.
So let me say something real quick, Dan, before we go over to that and get off subject. For those people who do watch the video that I made last night, and, you know, the 5,000 views that I may get on it, anybody watches this video, you know, keep in mind I'm on the road. I didn't have a lav mic. I didn't have my camera set up. It was in a hotel room, you know, in the middle of Florida. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I was exhausted. I was ready for bed, but I needed to go ahead and you know, do the open boxing. That way, it was a legit first open boxing, because I'm not one of these YouTube channels that opens something up, plays with it, boxes it back up, makes it look really pretty, and then says, hey, we're going to do an open box. I actually cut the tape with the knife last night, and I wanted to film that and put it out. So I was very tired. I was very monotoned. I didn't have much of a personality in the video. Like, you know, I'm not excited about it at all, because I was exhausted and it was 2 o'clock in the morning. So I put it out. But the video that I filmed today, I had plenty of rest last night. I slept in this morning. It's going to be good. You know, I cut all of the ands and the uhs and the does and all that out of it. And, yeah, and that stuff is gone. So I cut that out. I made a pretty good video based on what we're going to see. The camera's great, but it has curvature in 4K. Your 2.7K for most people that's going to upload to YouTube would upload in 2.7K or 1480p. Camera's great for that. Price point's high, but I put some personality in it. So the video that's going to be coming out tomorrow on the first flight should be a little bit more exciting. There's nothing much to look at in the drone footage other than some farms and some fields and, you know, an old farmhouse and a water tower, because of where I was flying at today due to the weather. It was raining all around me, every direction.
You flew in Hurricane Nestor or whatever it was. Craziness.
Yeah.
Or
So
Tropical Storm Nestor, whatever.
I had 10-minute, maybe 15-minute window of being able to fly it today because on
It's
all four sides of me was dark clouds. The wind was 20 miles an hour at 100 feet AGL up over the treetops. And I was like, you know what? I need to go ahead and film this. It's pretty right now. Still a little bit overcast, but I got it in. And then I'll be doing some more reviews on the apps and some of the features that the drone has as far as active track and the droney shots and all that in the days coming. And
Big
it's
one.
something that'll take me a couple of weeks to get filmed and released.
Big
But
one.
yeah,
Big one everybody wants to see immediately. The first person to put a range test out is God King. Push it to its limits, bro. Take it out and see what it can handle.
yeah, I'm going to send it as far as it'll go until it loses signal and then says returning to home. It does, for those of you who don't know how to fly a drone very well, it does have automatic takeoff and precision landing.
Oh boy.
The Mantis.
You can push a button and it'll take off, and you can push another button and it will land. So that's
The Mantis, right?
Don't repetitively
The
push the
Mantis?
button. It changes nothing. Yeah.
Is that the Mantis he's talking
Okay.
about? Go ahead.
is it what?
Is
Yes,
that
the
that
Mantis.
you're talking
That's
about?
the Mantis.
Right.
Yeah, it has that. To
Yep.
be honest with you, it has that precision landing. It's amazing.
It does. It has two little, looks like LED lights on the back of it, right behind the camera, on the downward
Yeah, it
facing camera. And so it
Yeah.
actually, it does have precision landing, and you can either set it to land in its exact spot, or you can set it to land within 30 feet of the smart device that you're controlling the drone with, whether it be your cell phone, your iPad, your tablet, whatever. It does have the ability to land within 30 feet of that, or it can land precisely where it took off from.
Yes, that's what I did with mine. I'm sorry. Mine actually took off where it came from. It's crazy. When it took off, it actually landed where it actually took off. I'm like, what the hell? This thing I didn't even notice. I'm like, I was looking at the menu one more time. I'm like, okay, I actually saw it. It has the precision landing on there. That's a good feature that they put on the Yuneec. Go ahead.
So guys, I'm going to go ahead and share Brian's unboxing video. And like I said, he has the flight and everything coming up. You've already got 134 views, man. Obviously, it's getting some watch time now. Hopefully you get a little bit more, man. I'd love to see this take off a bit more. But
it trips me out. People get 5,000 views on a video where they're talking about a drone, and I'm only at 134 where I actually got one. So I don't know. Maybe I suck that bad. I don't know.
No, to be honest with you, that's not how YouTube works. Just do what you can, and next thing you know, you might not have it this week, but next thing you know, maybe about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you're probably gonna have that. Okay, it's weird. Sometimes you're trying to put a view on YouTube, you might get like 100 in this week or maybe a month, and next thing you know, you look at it in 3 months. You got
I'll
like
say this.
10,000.
I'll say this. I seen somebody put a video out talking about a drone that someone hasn't even actually acknowledged that they're going to release yet, and get 20,000 views in 48 hours. So, I've actually got the drone. I've reviewed it. I've flown it and open boxed it and all that good shit. So, my subscriber base is mostly commercial drone pilots. If I look at who my subscribers are, it's not Bob's barbecue service on the side of the road in South Carolina that's subscribed to my channel. It's mostly professional commercial drone pilots. So that's where my 1,600 and some came from. The remaining subscribers that I gain in the coming days, weeks, months, years, whatever it may be, from a different base, because I do a variety of things. I play with bulldozers and cameras and drills and tools and all that. But it's frustrating because I see a person sitting in front of a camera so self-absorbed with themselves that they're actually looking down below the camera, reading a script and talking about a drone that doesn't exist, and get 20,000 views. And all these people are like, oh my God, this guy's special. And you actually put a real review out and you get 125 views in
now remember
24 hours. It's depressing.
Remember, that's algorithm based. So if you go home, right? If you go home, Brian, and you make 15 videos about the Yuneec G, you will dominate the algorithm for that drone before anybody even has a chance. The first videos that'll pop up will all be yours. Okay, so just remember that. I use that tactic whenever I get a new drone. I call it dominating the algorithm, especially if it's a drone that's been out for a while, but people are still interested. They're just watching the old videos. First, if somebody starts making new videos on an older drone, you can do the exact same thing. 3DR Solo is the same way. I did it with the 3DR Solo. Next thing I know, I'm making the truth about the 3DR Solo, then modifying it, then doing all this. Pretty soon I had a massive following just based on 3DR. So the whole thing is, man, how you treat the algorithm is how it's going to treat you back. You know
So
what I'm
if I
saying?
yanked a Mavic Mini out of my center console, if I just lifted this up and reached in here and was like Mavic Mini in the hand, I mean, how many views do you think I'm going to get on that?
Yeah.
Hey, Brian.
You know?
Hey, quick question. Like any drone that comes out, you know, how even the Mavic 2 Pro had its issues when it came out. But you think maybe after a couple months of some firmware updates that if they cleaned up that 4K part of the camera and a few other things, you think it might be worth its price point?
No, it's I'm still not. I'm never going to go with that price point, no matter what, because it doesn't have obstacle avoidance like the competitors, and the feel of it is. It kind of reminds you of like a Hubsan Zeno, or it's got that plastic cheap feel, I mean, and like whenever you hold something that's injection molded, and it's got a little bit of texture to it and a little bit of weight to it, even the motors just doesn't feel like they're the true tried and tested motors that we're used to having. So it's like, where they're getting $699 on this drone, I think it's just because of the hype, because it's new and they upgraded the camera. But I can't see it. I really can't. Not ever. I mean, not even a year from now, I couldn't see all the updates, a better firmware on the camera. It just doesn't have the shit that it needs. You know what I mean? They need to up their shit if they're going to charge $700 for a drone.
All right, let's. I got to answer this question real quick, guys, because I see Props Off threw his hand in the mix here. So it says, I'm new to the 5-inch FPV, the Wizard X220S. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's a really good drone. It is older tech. You won't be able to run the newer versions of Betaflight on it. You'll have to install an older Betaflight because I think it runs an F3 flight controller instead of the F4. So you'll have to be kind of dropping back on the Betaflight. And I believe it's still running a lower version of D-Shot, like 600 maybe. So I think honestly, it is great. It is an amazing starter platform, honestly, but you're going to have to backtrack. You can't install the newest version of Betaflight. You'll have to install an older version of Betaflight to be able to use it. So that's something to consider right there. An F4 flight board is probably going to take you a lot further. There's plenty of drones out there now that use an F4 flight controller. So just think about it. You know what I'm saying? It is an amazing platform. I know a lot of people that had the X220 and they had an absolute blast with it. Said it was a fantastic platform to fly. But like I said, it's kind of older tech now. And so, I don't really belittle old stuff. You know what I mean? I like a lot of the older platforms because they're fun to play with and you can tinker and modify, customize, and do all that fun stuff with. So, and not really care because you're like, oh, it was half the price of a new one. I could beat the living crap out of it. So, it's fun. It's fun stuff. I mean, I'm not even flying an X220 anymore, man. I'm flying a 210. So we got the 210 B flight 210 with the, all the fun stuff on there. It's a little ripper, man, on 4S. That's neither here nor there. But Canadian Drone Guy, I hope that helps, man. Props Off is absolutely right. So it is the BL Helis. It is old stuff. So, yep. I think we lost AJ. I wasn't trying to be a dick. I just wanted to finish that conversation and then have him have an opportunity to keep going. AJ is a new subscriber here, but unfortunately, I think he may have bitten off a little more than he could chew tonight. I hope that's not the case. I hope he can prove everything that it's all fact, man. The thing that we try to give everybody is factual information. I don't like people that just spew crap to the market and just say, it can do this and it can do that. There was a video, I think it's I-9 Division 54 or something like that, East 95 Division 54, and the guy was sitting there, he's like, we have drones that you can buy at consumer stores and they can travel state to state. And I was like,
Really?
He's like, there's Mavics out there that can fly from one city to another city and back. And they can, heck, it'll fly to the next state if you want it to and land at your friend's house. And I was like, but he was being totally serious because he didn't know about drones. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of got in the comment section. I was like, oh, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't know what you're talking about, man. These things have a range cap, dude, and it's normally battery life. You know, I mean, sure, if the battery could last that long, sure, you could probably draw a mission out of state, but it ain't gonna happen. You know, so Andrew really wants in. I'm gonna let Andrew in, guys. Andrew says he's not drunk. Andrew, try to stay on topic, my friend. I'm going to bring in Andrew is someone I'm working on. He's a friend of mine, and he's trying to detox right now, and we support that. So come on in, Andrew. JDS, you're welcome to join too. It's been a while since I've seen you on panel. Well, thank you, Timeless Truth.
Dan,
Yes.
I a man behind my word. If AJ could come back and prove what a couple of things that I just me alone said to him, I'm on your channel and eat my words.
No, hey, like I said, I didn't want to say he couldn't do it. I just kind of threw the information as to why I don't think it can be done. So I don't think I'll have to eat my words, but I will say this: if he does, I will be just absolutely mind blown. You know what I'm saying?
Too.
Yeah.
Can you?
So Andrew, what's happening, brother?
Okay.
How's it feeling?
I've quite a few breathers there.
Yeah.
When I was, watching that, I'm actually quite shaking, actually, when he was in all them kind of things. Okay.
All right. So what's your opinion, Andrew? Try to be as fluent.
Because there's no backlash on me, so realistically, I'll tell you how it is. None of that is going to happen. Right, I was describing, right, that all these possibilities with what is using. I mean, I've just started following Adventure, then I can't remember his name.
Adventure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just, and Ron, etc. But I think when I started putting in the comment section, right, come on then, show us now. Right, just give us any proof. I will give you any kind of money. Yeah. Not that I haven't got any, but I will look. Let's give it a shot anyway. You're giving it a shot, so I'm thinking you're full of crap. Honestly,
well,
you're telling me you're giving me night vision. Right, and you're going on the cars, and you're going on the trees, like you said yourself. I don't see that. I can't see that in any kind of light kind of thing anywhere. In any kind of drone, unless it's got a really reflective light on the ground, and it's only a certain amount. I get it, but no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
We have a celebrity in the chat right now. Neil, Captain Cook is in the house.
If I said something wrong there, please tell me.
No, you're good. How's it hanging, Cap?
Yeah, I'm still doing the alcohol detox. I'm going on, after me financial things. That's when I'm going into the detox, because it says basically what'll happen is if you go into that and my financial things means I'll lose my roof over my head. But that's gonna kick me over the board, you know what I mean? So it's okay, like I said, them things are fine with you if you ever want them things.
Yeah, well, we could talk about I gotta get back to work first and make some money, and then we can talk about
leave that until after New Year. I think that's probably best for all of us, because I've still got my back problems where I can't get up and my legs, and I sometimes I'm paralyzed. I can't even move around. So. And then we're at ground zero in the UK. There's no thing. I would love somebody in the UK to come on here and tell me whether they're actually flying a drone. in the United Kingdom, tell me, please, where is one that you're flying, and show me a video, right, that shows you where that you flew that, because there is not.
Right.
Right now, I don't know whether you noticed the marketplace. I guess you all have it, on you, and the drones on there completely. Right, normally when you go on your phone and you're looking on that marketplace, there's like plastered with drones, all Mavics, etc., all different kinds. I can't keep up with them all, but I tried it yesterday and today, and absolutely not a single drone on their thing at all. Not any kind. But if that other lad thinks is good at flying night flying, this is the best thing you can buy, right, for night flying. It's got a little webcam in there, and you can actually adjust that thing, right? And this thing is brushed. It's crap, but it was, the very first one I bought. And I've still got the original battery for it, but it's a bit swelled. But I can guarantee you it's got a bit of night flying than what he thinks he's going to get out of that. Where he explains, right? And this is like quite impressive. It's still got battery power.
Did you well, let's
I'll
tell you what.
Well, look at that. Right. Oh, yeah. So I'm recording, and this thing will, like, do flips, everything, and it records in 720.
Let me interrupt you 1 second.
And that's classed as an aircraft.
What's that, Brian?
So, AJ, right? He's talking about publicly. He's talking about flying drones at nighttime. Is he a 107 holder with a daytime waiver?
We have no idea. I think he bailed on chat.
So either way, that's one thing that I'm not trying to be the drone police or nothing, but that's one thing that I would be really careful about, is saying publicly that I'm out here flying my drone at nighttime and it's tracking me in the dark.
It's suicidal.
I mean, why would you do that?
Anytime when unless it's really, really lit up,
Well, over here we can't do that. You got after the sun goes down, you got to have a waiver, bro.
Exactly, and you can only in the UK you can only go up and down. You don't go anywhere else.
Andrew, we're gonna put my lights against your lights, okay?
Okay.
You tell me if you can't fly this at night, okay? You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
That's an alien ship.
All right.
We're putting my lights against your lights. Now, which one can you see 3 miles away?
Depending on where that's facing forward, right?
Well, let's even on the back. I got brake lights.
Oh yeah, okay, you got brake lights, but then how does just the other person know that?
What's that?
Whether it's going backwards or forwards.
Well, because you still have your light pods.
But the backlight's on all the time, right?
White on front, red on back.
So that could be confusing, right?
That's not confusing.
Yeah,
You can tell.
Traffic lights. I love the concept. I'm just thinking the guy is trying to say that you can do this and do this thing, do it upside down, and do this in the dark and do all random kind of things. Look, it's in an utopia world. It's never gonna happen, right? Maybe it might come out of that stadio. I doubt it. Come on.
Actually, Thomas, I'll do you one better.
I do love the light, thing on the solar. So yeah, I love that kind of setup on my thing. But it's still not gonna go and show you everything beautiful on a night.
Thomas, I'll do you one better. Not only do I have aviation lights, but they actually got added in as a later effect. So actually, all the pod lights on it, I can adjust in the Solo app and choose what aviation light setup I want to run the LEDs on, so they can blink or flash or transition colors, or 2 on yellow, 1 on red on front, or I can have them blinking. This is the difference between proprietary based drones and open source platform. Okay, you guys are so limited by flying the DJI stuff. I mean, horribly limited compared to what you can do with open source.
So the lights that you put on there, I know I've seen 1 or 2 videos of that.
They're hooked up to the extension port.
Is you just using it from the battery outlet that you use as the next, as the new mod, right? Is it using that same battery, outlet for the?
Yes, it is. I'm actually connected to the extension port, so it's drawing power from the board, but it's communicating through Pickhawks and Argicopter.
So what are you turning the lights on with, and what are you turning the lights off?
It's being controlled by Argicopter, so it's programmed through Argicopter.
Through the app on the actual Solex.
So I'm adjusting the parameters inside the app. Yes.
So you can actually do that to actually adjust the lights.
Yes.
Oh. Wow! I never knew.
There's a lot of stuff you can do with open source, man. That's why I like.
You learn something new every day.
Pickhawks is a lot of fun, man.
I thought I was just basically connected into the battery supply somewhere there, but I didn't know that you could do it from the app on the actual.
Oh yeah.
Phone, and you're saying that you can actually turn them on and off?
Yes. Oh yeah.
So do they actually interact when you've got the camera on or off? Do they make a big difference?
Do they interact when the camera's on? I don't understand what you mean by that.
So when you've got the camera on, so when you press on or off, what's it doing to the camera?
It's not doing anything to the camera. The camera's fixed.
Then you've got no FPV, then, have you? Because
no, you do.
No, on the screen.
You do. I've got FPV. It runs through HDMI through the.
But I think I'm getting confused with the other guy because he's on about night.
He's saying the light will blow the image out.
It's not going to happen, right? I can't see this happening with this other guy.
Check this out.
I think it can only bounce off the ground at a certain level and bounce up.
You know what that is? You know what that is?
Yeah, so we got on with all solos.
What is it?
It's the thing that goes on the GoPro.
It goes on the GoPro and it keeps the glare off the lens from extra light.
But with that kind of glare?
I also have the DX filters for it.
Oh, I'd like to be able to see that myself then. Okay. That'll be another experiment, You bought that one on yourself there, Dan.
All right, guy.
You bought yourself on that one there.
Hey, man, I told you. I've been messing with the Solo.
I know, especially with the night flying one.
All your filters.
Believe me, that was hard work. And you got a professional to do that.
All your GoPro filters are in here. Each one is labeled properly with exactly what it is. Wow. There is a case that goes over each one and tells you what the filter is. So this is an ND8 filter. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as long as you have the proper filters and stuff on there, man, you don't have any problems with lighting.
And how much do they cost around?
Oh, gosh, I don't remember. I bought these about a year ago.
Roughly?
45, 50 bucks, somewhere around there. They're pretty decent.
What for a set like that?
Yep, for the set.
I know that I've still got a few of the original Solo batteries that they kept on sending me, and I've seen that thing where he says you should basically get rid of them, but they've been well maintained. But then I saw that thing where you did the flight back. And then I realized, you remember right at the beginning, I said that I had this problem with this drone coming towards me at the Solo and it wouldn't go any further. right towards me, and that was and yeah, it's down to geofencing. It would not let me go through there. It would only let me go backwards.
Well, don't forget, these are the long exposure
It
shots.
doesn't. And
That's
now
what-
the actual Solex app actually tells me I'm in warning.
Do you see that? Those are the long exposure shots with the solo
That
and
was beautiful,
and the
and
night
that's
sky.
very, very hard to do.
That's with the lights on at night with long exposure active. Look at all the color scheming that's happening there. There's like 25 different colors going on. That's with the light kit added in, and then party mode active. That's
long
a-
exposure. Yeah.
That's it. Yep, that's a long exposure zigzag shot, and then a bust through the middle. That was all done with the Solos lighting kit. Long exposure. You can see the horizon in the background down there with the trees. So
It's amazing. But that costs so much money for that guy, you know, with the lens and everything, just to get that shot.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And you had to go out there and do that. And then, and you know, you was quite blessed to have that privilege as a professional, you know, to come and help you with that.
Well, he
So,
invited me out. He asked if I had a drone that had decent light so that he could take some long exposure shots, and I said, I got the hookup, bro. Where do you want me to meet you? And I brought that thing out there, and he was like, Jesus, dude, I could see this on the moon. I was like, I told you, man, you can't miss this thing anywhere. It is extremely bright at night.
it's beautiful with its lighting,
Yep.
but I mean, but I can't see any DJI drone like basically putting, especially the Mavics, and I'm not trying to be biased about any of them, especially, but because I really haven't experienced them that much, but nighttime flying in any drone, right, and going upside down, like he was saying, oh God.
Darian Breen says good night to everybody.
All right.
Later, buddy.
Talking too much.
No, you're good. So like I said, man, I if you guys have never tried anything open source, get yourself a cheap Cheerson CX20. Totally modifiable. Runs on APM, Pickhawks, APM. I think it's APM 2.0, but I think it's upgradable now if you want to. You could actually install the Pickhawks Spore system in it and run about the same mission planner stuff and Arduino Pilot. You could run all that stuff on a cheap Cheerson CX20 with a decent battery. You could choose your own camera rigs. You can do all that fun stuff, man.
Yes, I have interest. Is he still driving from yesterday?
Actually, he drove all the way to Florida.
I was watching you yesterday, but I got that a few hours into it, and then I thought, is he still driving technically now? He was doing 1,000 miles.
Well, now he drove 1,000 miles to come see me, but due to some unfortunate events, he's having to drive all the way home before DW Fest. He's leaving. Dude, where are you at now? You got to be passing. If you were at Daytona, you got to be pretty far out there now.
I'm in Georgia.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm in Georgia. I just crossed the Georgia line on 95, but yeah, I'm making tracks, man, because I have to be where I've got to be tomorrow, no later than 4:00.
Is this because of hurricane things that you?
No. That's over with. The tropical storm Nestor's already gone, man. Tomorrow.
Let's just put it like this: my financier / employer / boss lady told me that I had to have my ass back where I came from within 24 hours. So something came up.
So unfortunately, he won't be making DW Fest after driving all the way here. So I apologize for that, Brian.
That's such a shame. It's a horrible shame, but you've got to do what you've got to do.
I'm sad, bro. I got your whole drone, batteries, charger, all that stuff. Look.
And Dan even did a bit of cleaning up too.
Yeah, I know. That's breaking my heart, man. It's killing me. Stop showing it to me. Don't do that.
Look. I even had the whole transmitter all set up for it. Look, brand new in the package.
Don't worry, Dan will be.
Geez.
Dan will be.
So, man, sure you don't want to turn around and come back?
Dan will be nice. he will send it to you because obviously
I'm gonna have to super chat him, or I'm gonna have to Venmo him or
I'll
PayPal him
send you.
some dollars with a
It's
Z.
not your fault. You can't help making what you did. I mean, you went out for a long distance there. It's a shame you had to turn back on tracks.
If I would have stayed in Florida, I wouldn't have made it back up north until Monday afternoon, and I have to be there tomorrow afternoon. So kind of jacked my trip up unexpectedly. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna talk to Dan on the phone and see if I could give him some money to FedEx that or UPS it, and then for his time and efforts and all that, because I really wanted to be there.
Well, Dan will probably be more than happy just because you already made that effort, to go and see him and all that kind of stuff. He'd been probably more than likely to give you for nothing, man. Just you're not that far away.
Yeah, I mean, well, like I said, bro, we'll get it. It's. I mean,
We're one happy family here, man.
He also knows that finances for me are very tight right now as well.
And they are in everybody's case, right? Yeah. Look, I said, look, I've got all these drones, so you can have them all.
But I will do what I can, and he knows that.
Hey, Dan.
Yo.
I'm going to head out, buddy. I got a class in the morning.
Yeah, we're about to shut this down, man. We're running out of viewers here.
Good luck with everything tomorrow. I hope it's a great day. Brian, drive safe, man. I kind of feel part of your pain. I just come off a 16-hour road trip, so I feel part of your pain. Oh.
Is that the drone? Yeah.
That's
safe. Andrew, take care. Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you, Just a Video, brother. You're awesome. Drone Worship, how you doing, brother? I've had better days, but hey, man, my event's tomorrow. I'm about to shut things down because it's almost midnight, and I got to be up fairly early to get this kicked off because I have a long drive back to Tampa, and I live in Oldsmar to meet everybody at the drone event. So I still
have a good day tomorrow, Dan.
What's that?
Have a good day tomorrow.
Oh, yeah, it'll be fun, man. I'll take a ton of good footage. I got the GoPros all charged up. We got a bunch of drones.
Take care, guys. I'm going.
Sounds good. Brian, thanks for coming on, telling everybody about the Mantis G. If you guys are in the comment section, please don't forget to smash the like button on the way out. Thanks for stopping in, Andrew. Ron, it's been fun. Brian, if you want to check out his channel, guys, post that. I think one more time here. Do I have it? Is that? Oh, no, that's the StreamYard link. Well, just check out iAdventures, drop the S and put a Z in there, all one word, and you can check out Brian's channel. He's going to have a ton of Mantis G stuff coming up for you guys. And hopefully right out the hole, he's just going to push it right to its limit and do a range test because we know that's what everybody wants to see first. And then from there, they want to hear about all the features. So.
Absolutely, man. I'm going to be editing for the next couple of days after I go handle my chores.
There you go. All righty, guys. Have a wonderful night. I will see you guys after Drone Worship Fest. My video probably won't go up until Monday. I have to go to the hospital to meet up with them to figure out how my surgery is going to go on the 25th and then more recovery time. Yay, exciting. So.
All right, take care, guys. Have a good night.
All right, man.
All right, good night.
Toodaloo, everybody.
Bye-bye.
We are out of here.